So today I wanted to talk to you how to make a deal with a sourcing agent. Because I think using a sourcing agent is the only right way to source your product in China. But I see people make a lot of mistakes here in terms of what kind of deals to make with them. So I just wanted to clarify real quick what it means to have a sourcing agent, how the benefits are of using them instead of doing it yourself. I mean, how would you like to pay $5 and get 20 back in return, right? What if you could give $20? What if you could give $5 away and someone would give you $20 in return, right? That's a very cool trade, and this is exactly what sourcing agents do for you, okay? Because usually what you do is that you pay them around 5% on your total order value, okay? So they do all the sourcing work for you. They deal with your supplier. They're basically your insurance that everything runs smoothly. They get you better prices, and usually they get you around 20% better prices, okay? And that's not only for your first order, that's on every consecutive order that you do. So you pay them 5% and they get you a 20% better price, plus they do all the work for you, right? So how do you structure a deal with an agent? And I see some people going and saying, well, I want to have an agent, but I only want to source, I don't know, I'm only buying products for $1,000, right? And here's the problem for that, because the sourcing agent isn't working on, they're working on the 5% commission, right? But that doesn't mean that they don't want to earn any money, right? So if your usually if your order value is above like $5,000, $4,000, we're getting there, you know, then 5% is okay, you know, and they can live on that. It's worth their time to deal with that. But if you have an order value of like $1,000, $2,000, the problem with that is that they can't live on that. So usually what I always recommend is that you pay $50 upfront to get your quotations, and then 5% for all of the work that comes afterwards, for arranging samples for you, for bundling the samples and sending them to you, for dealing with a supplier, for you know, getting your logo on the product, getting your packaging, placing your order. All of that stuff is then handled by the commission, right? So usually I say, okay, you pay $50 up front, and then you pay 5% commission. But if your order value is too small, then you should make a different agreement with the agent. You say, "Hell, look, I pay you $50 up front, and then 5% commission or $250 as a fee, whatever is greater," okay? Because that way they have this guaranteed $250 no matter how much it is. And now if you're saying, well, look, if I pay like the $50 and $250, I'm already paying $300 up front. But the agent, if they just save me 20% on my $1,000, then I'm only saving $200, so actually spending more money. But first of all, you've got to be okay with spending a little bit money for the agent, because they're taking the whole workload off your shoulders. Okay, they're doing the whole work for you, and the money that you save on this order, the 20% that you save here, you're going to be continuing to save those 5% on follow-up orders, right? So you'll forever on every order save them, so you have your money back out really, really quick. But really, what's the most important thing is just to have your time worth, right? So if the agent takes all the workload and all the hassle and all of that stuff from you, you have to go with an agent. You should not consider any other way to source your products in China. Because look, if you do it yourself and you hit these boundaries, right? You have these communication boundaries. You can't get the prices you want. If you're dealing with the suppliers, you have to go endlessly back and forth to get this right, to get the communication right? Another point is the samples. Look, they save you so much money on the samples. This is so overlooked because everyone complains that the samples are so expensive, right? What makes the samples so expensive are two things. First, they take a little bit of advantage of you because they can charge you a little bit more, right? And the second thing is the shipping costs. Just the shipping costs from the samples make a majority of the costs of that. So if you were having 5 samples, and I'm going to go through the exact order that you should source your product in a minute. But if you get your samples and you order 5 samples, and the factory quotes you whatever $60 or $70 or $80 for the sample and shipping, then at $80 you're ending up to pay $400 worth of things, $500 worth of samples, right? But if you go with an agent, and first of all, the agent is getting the samples cheaper than you do, and second of all, the agent can bundle them. So you ask the agent to get you 5 different samples. They receive it for you, they bundle it, and then they send them out to you as a bundle. So you only pay shipping costs once, and not for all of the samples that you get individually from the suppliers, right? So that's a big money save here already just on that. So go with an agent. And by the way, we have an agent platform, or there are different ways that I can help you to find an agent. The very first way is below. Have a look in the description below. There's one training, and that costs really less than if you go out for a pizza, where I teach you how to find your supplier, all of the steps, and also how to find your sourcing agent to then help you find your suppliers. Then there we have an agent platform where we already tested agents that we worked with, and we vetted them and validated them as reliable agents, and we put out this platform. And if you enroll into the Easy Peasy Sourcing online coaching program, you get free access to that. Okay, so to get more information about that, just head over. Also in the description there's a link to a free web class. Just join that free web class around 1.5 hours, and at the end of the class I'll make you an offer. So, but back to the sourcing process. The very first thing that you want to do when you look out for suppliers, or that you want to tell your agent to do when looking for suppliers, is to get you different quotations. Okay, you want to have different quotations from multiple suppliers that your agent contacted and validated, and say, okay, this is a manufacturer. I made sure they have a good history. All of these things, you can't do that, right? Your agent has to do that for you. So after going and getting 5 quotations, so 3 to 5 quotations, you just look through the numbers. You see, well, which of these suppliers has a lead time you can work with, which of these suppliers has a MOQ that's okay for you, and you get the price. Probably you get FOB prices, so you have the shipping covered. And then in the next step, you ask the agent to order a sample from each of those suppliers. And now here, this is important, because most of the people make the mistake to order a customized sample, right? So customized sample means you put your logo on it, or you change the color, or you change the size, or whatever you do, right? Important is to have a simple sample off the shelf. So you get the quotations including your logo, including your color change and all of that stuff. But you get your samples simple, because in the very first step you just want to see the quality. You just want to see which of these suppliers has a quality that is okay for you, a general quality, because it takes so incredible long to get a customized sample from each of those 5 suppliers. It's crazy. So don't waste your time on that. What you want to do is you want to pick your supplier based on the quality that you see of the sample that they have off the shelf. That's all you need. Okay, so you pick one supplier that you go with. One supplier is enough. You pick the one that you like the numbers that you got in the quotation, and that you like the quality of the sample from. And that's all you need. Then you make your choice. You say, okay, this is the supplier I want. Then you go back to your agent and say, hey agent, look, this is the supplier I want. Now get me a sample. Here's my logo. Here are my changes that I want to have. These are these things that I need to be different. These are the things that are important. This is what I need for packaging. Okay, then you go into that step, and your agent will help you with that. So then it basically, it's a whole different game. Doing the customization, and that's actually what takes most time and most back and forth. But however, if you have the agent, they do that for you, right? So make sure you get your agent, and the time that you save on that, well, that time you can spend to already create a customer base, to already, do the groundwork, create your listings, create all of the things that you need to do to sell your product. You can focus on your business then, or focus on the job, focus on your family in that time. Get your agent. And if you completely want to give that task away, just head over in the description. There's an email address. Just shoot me an email if you want me and my team here in China to source your product. If that's something you're interested in, just head over to the notes here to the description. Just shoot me an email and we'll help you out. So I hope you like this. You have to get a sourcing agent. I hope it's clear now what kind of deals you make with them, why you do the deal you do. You'd pay the agent via PayPal. Usually they accept that. So that's something that's asked more often. Anyway, that's it for today. That's it for today. I'll catch you guys tomorrow.